Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now it's your Manchester United vs Sevilla preview, and United received brilliant news this morning. Marcus Rashford is back in training, which is absolutely brilliant. That'll give us much more confidence going into this game against Sevilla, and like I said, it's just brilliant news to receive that Marcus Rashford is back in training. As we know, Marcus Rashford has been our main talisman this season. He's stepped up completely. We all know how good Marcus Rashford is at the moment, and hopefully this injury is just a minor step back, and we've only missed him for a few games. But I do think Marcus Rashford is a very key player going into this game. I don't think he'll start, but I do think that he'll be on the bench, which I'm looking forward to seeing happen, because he'll bring that extra option to bring off the bench if United need a goal. But I am confident going into this game. I mean, Sevilla have just won their most recent game, like Manchester United. They won 2-0 at the weekend against Valencia, which is a good result for them and kind of keeps them out of the relegation battle. But they are still in the relegation battle, and they are still vulnerable, as we know, because Manchester United went 2-0 up in the first half, which is good to see. And I do think Manchester United will go into this game more confident, knowing that how Sevilla play. And as a fan as well, I learned a lot from how Sevilla played in our first leg against them at Old Trafford, which is where I am right now. If you can't tell, it's not a green screen, don't worry. But yes, I do think that with Manchester United, it is going to be a good game, and I am looking forward to seeing how Manchester United actually play and how we actually line up. The team that I think Erik Ten Hag is going to go for is that I think Erik Ten Hag is going to go for kind of a similar lineup that he did against Nottingham Forest, and I think that team will consist of David De Gea in net, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Harry Maguire and Lindelof as centre back pairing, Diogo Dalot as left back like he did against Nottingham Forest. I do think it'll be Casemiro, Fredo, McTominay and Eriksen as the midfield duo, as Bruno Fernandes is unfortunately suspended. I do think that Antony will play on the right, Jadon Sancho will play on the left, and Anthony Martial through the middle. Now obviously, like I said, I don't think Marcus Rashford will start in this game, as he only has just come back from training, but it is exciting to see him happen, and I do think he'll be on the bench, which is, you know, exciting. Like I said, I do think that Marcus Rashford, when that groin injury happened, obviously it wasn't as severe as everyone thought it was. It must have just been a minor pull, and he was only out for 10 days. But again, it is great news that Marcus Rashford is back now. We have missed him, but United have been playing well as well without Marcus Rashford. Certain players have stepped up, and I'm just glad to see it. Obviously, he wasn't available for the Seville game, but I do think that Marcus Rashford will want to make an impact. He'll want to get on the pitch and start scoring again, or start creating. We know how good Marcus Rashford's been this season. But yes, as we know, Seville, the way they played against us in the first leg, they like to drop back and hit us on the break, kind of like majority of relegation teams in the Premier League. So Seville, even though they play in a different league, I think Erik Ten Hag would have learned a lot of things, and people say that the scoreline was unfair to us, and I agree, because we had major injuries. Obviously, we had Sabitzer got injured before the Nottingham Forest game. We had the likes of Rafael Varane, who went off at half time for Harry Maguire. We had Lisandro Martinez go off before the equaliser, and we were down to 10 men because we already made 5 substitutions. So I do think that United going in with all 11 men, Ten Hag over the last week will probably be instructing into his players on how to beat certain tactics. And I do think we're going to play the game like we normally do, a lot like Nottingham Forest. I do think that we're going to play the high line, as Erik Ten Hag has shown that no matter what players are in his starting 11, that he'll always play and stick to his philosophy, which is the high line, high press, try and build up in possession, and just absolutely dominate your team and put them on the back foot. But I do think that Seville are a dangerous team, and my score prediction is going to be 3-1 Manchester United, so it is going to be 5-3 on aggregate. And I do think that United are going to progress forward. I am a United fan, I am confident, and whoever wins out of Sporting Lisbon and Juventus is a team that we would be facing in the semi-finals of the Europa League, which will be very exciting. And I do think Erik Ten Hag is wanting to go for the Europa League, as well as the FA Cup, as well as try and secure top 4, because we know what this manager is like. He's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love Erik Ten Hag, and we know that he's the type of manager that will want to go for and win everything at all costs, because that's the type of manager he is, that's the type of man he is. He's a serial winner, and he's the type of manager that's been inflicting this confidence, this mentality change onto these players. And don't forget, it is only his first season, and Erik Ten Hag has done absolutely incredible since joining Manchester United last season, and I just can't wait to see how much he progresses forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how the season progresses as well. Despite our limitations, I do think that Erik Ten Hag has confidence in all the players in the squad. Whether you think we've got a low lacking squad or not, I'm one of them fans who do think that our squad isn't strong enough, but I'm not saying that we're not going to win anything. I'm not saying that United can't win another trophy, but there are setbacks. Obviously, Varane and Martinez, our key centre-backs, are out. We have Malacia with a minor injury. Van der Beek's obviously out for the rest of the season. Garnacho also recently has put on Instagram that he's back in training, so that's good to hear. But again, all this is about is getting that first goal, and I honestly think that United need to put the bed to rest this game, because as we know, being up 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in world football, because as soon as that team if you're winning 2-0, right, and your opposition scores a goal and makes it 2-1, they're then up for it and they can proceed to get that second goal, and then the equaliser's done. It happened to Manchester United on last Thursday against Sevilla. It happened with Arsenal and Liverpool the previous weekend, and it also happened the weekend that just gone with Arsenal again with West Ham. They were up 2-0, and what happens? They didn't get their third goal to shut off the game completely, and they didn't put the game to bed and allowed the teams to get back into it. And United need to make sure that we don't do this on Thursday, because Sevilla obviously proved to us that they are still a threat. They can score goals, and you know they are going to be a challenge. And yes, they won 2-0 against Valencia, like I've already just said, but again, I do think United are going to breeze past this. I do think that the players that are going to be key in this game, I do think Casemiro breaking up the play, I do think Anthony Martial, and honestly, surprisingly, I'm going to say Harry Maguire. And I do think that Harry Maguire is going to have a very good game. I've just got a feeling that Harry Maguire is going to prove a lot of his haters wrong. He might get a winning goal. I would love that to happen. But honestly, as long as we go through, I don't care who scores. It could be De Gea, it could be Maguire, it could be Martial for all I care. It could even be Phil Jones. I know he's not even registered, but it'd be amazing to see Manchester United progress to the semi-finals of the Europa League. And I'm confident in my team, I'm confident in the players, and I do think Manchester United are going to progress and get the job done tomorrow night. But yes, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. Like and subscribe for Old Trafford, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.